Hello, my dear Holy Family. When I did my very first Every Member Canvas video about 4 years ago, it took me almost a whole day to film a 20-minute segment. Needless to say, I've had quite a bit more practice in front of the camera since then. So much so that I hope you're not sick of seeing my face. I've also learned that 7 or 8 minutes is a lot better than 20. That being said, I miss seeing your faces very much. Each autumn, the parish conducts a canvass of every one of Holy Family's members to ask you to pledge your financial support for the coming year. Our small endowment does not subsidize any of our day-to-day operations. We rely on our members for over 95% of our operating expenses. So I'm asking you to make your pledge today online at chfepiscopal.org/pledge or by emailing Julie Heggie in the parish office. For those who prefer, a paper pledge card was sent in October's edition of Family Affairs, and you'll receive one again in November if we haven't heard from you. This is a canvas unlike any other. Back when the pandemic started, we used words like unprecedented and emergency. Unprecedented gave way to uncertain, and now what was uncertain and fuzzy seems to be coming into clearer focus. We will gather again. Indeed, we have already started to do so. We will continue to find ways to be with one another, not perhaps as we would wish, but as we are able. My goodness. It's been a trying time and such a season of loss. And my goodness, how vital Holy Family has been. In praying about the canvas, I've been guided by St. Paul's assurance to the Ephesians. You are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are citizens with the saints and also members of the household of God. Throughout the pandemic, we have relentlessly sought God's will, because we shelter in his household. At the beginning of the pandemic, I said to my wife, Sally, that I couldn't imagine going through something like this without Holy Family. Baked into our identity is a goodness and commitment meant for trying times like these. Your staff and lay leaders have tried so many different ideas to help keep us together. We've tried lots of things, but just as soon as we'd settle on a plan, the plan would be upended. As it turned out, email, texts, social media, going for a walk, and plain old phone calls are how we've been trying to stay in touch. Whether that's by sharing resources for children that Angela continuously reimagines, or by receiving a vase of altar flowers for an anniversary, and yes, even by uniting with prayer and song through our online services, which now reach an audience across the country and in other countries as well. I've had many emails from folks saying that when their church went dark in March, finding us has been a lifeline. Life has gone on. Funerals, baptisms, weddings, graduations, and things like building care, like repainting the nave, praying the daily offices together. All the things that make church church have continued. We've even managed to have Youth Sunday and a fulsome vacation Bible school with thoughtful bundles of resources for each household. Amazing. Holy Family has responded to the great needs this crisis has brought about in our community as well. Tens of thousands of dollars have been given for community relief. Thousands more collected in food drives for the Interfaith Council, and in food given out to Chapel Hill school children through a volunteer program. No need to say that Holy Family was among the first churches to respond, and we stuck with it the whole time. Webinars, Bible studies, book groups, special guests from all over, poignant and joyful gatherings of prayer and praise, including our first and hopefully last Easter Vigil on Zoom. I still remember sitting around the dining room table with my whole family as we rang our bells, telling one another that Christ is risen indeed. This summer, we set a record for this year's Haiti Scholarship Drive, blowing out of the water the previous record by almost $10,000. For over 6 months now, we have housed and supported a paroled prisoner as he seeks to rebuild his life, giving him the space and time to heal, to save money, and to learn how to build relationships in a society he has never known, all in the midst of a pandemic. Amazing. Many of us have watched events unfold in our nation with great sadness. While those around us feel a sense of bewilderment and confusion, we are anchored in the household of God. Sarah and I have been doing our very best to make sense of these events through our weekly sermons. I hope you've been watching. I know I speak for Sarah to say that we have never worked harder to bring God's word into your daily lives. These days, it seems like the scriptures have just come alive in our reading and in each time we catch the latest news. Slowly but surely, we are coming together again. The committee to regather the church has worked hard to make a safe plan for our outdoor Eucharists, and they succeeded. They remind me a lot of the midweek services we used to hold on Saints' Days. Spoken, simple, but very moving. And of course, the best part is seeing other people, even if we have to wear a mask and keep apart. When it's safe, we'll go back indoors. And one day, we will gather again. Friends, we need you to make a pledge for the Every Member Canvas. We've had new members join since the pandemic, but nowhere near the rate we've always been used to. What's more, we will have to cut significantly the income we expect to receive from what normally just comes through the collection plate by visitors and people who don't pledge. That's almost $50,000 a year. So we need you to renew your pledge, and if possible, increase it. We have an emergency fund, and if this is our emergency, we're prepared to use it. But we'd rather spend that money outwardly and look for opportunities to be a blessing to our neighborhood and our neighbors for many years to come. In Jesus, we find our true unity. Apart or together, we are one through our baptism, citizens with the saints and members of the household of God. Help keep Holy Family a bright beacon of peace in a time of chaos, a sanctuary in the storm, and a place of action in time of need. Make your pledge today. I love you. I miss you. God bless you.